Hello! Today we are going to talk about visual literacy. So, the more art that you look at, the more you think about it, you actually get on like a higher plane of understanding about art. It sounds weird, but it's true. Just like reading, right? We start off reading and we're just reading the words, and then we can start making sentences and stories, and then the more books you read, the more you can compare to other things you've read, and then the more meaning you get, and then you can create your own meaning and make your own stories. So just like that kind of cognition, we also have what's called visual aesthetics. I did my master's on this. So we are going to try to figure out what level you are at. And there's no value to it really. It's not like, oh, you're only at level 1. Like, the cool thing is that if you know your level, you can develop it through what this woman, Abigail Housen and Philip Yanaway, they developed this technique in the 90s called visual thinking strategies, and we can actually up our visual literacy level. So, number 1, your first level is, do you make stories about the artwork? Or do you just name what you see? I guess we could do the moth in the background. I see a moth. I see a pink background, or what might be a moth. I see a table. That's it. And then next, maybe you start making stories. This is really common for kids, right? They'll be like, I think the moth is going on vacation. And it's fun because sometimes they come up with things that I just never would have thought of myself. So very cool. So that's our first level. So number 1 is called accountive. Number 2 is constructive. So do you decide art is good or bad? So this is making value judgments on artwork. So you go to a gallery, you think, I like that one, I don't like that one. We can start making value judgments about what we like and what we don't like based on art we've seen previously. So that's also a totally normal level to be at. Also, we can start thinking like, I think this piece of art is worth a lot of money, or I don't think this is worth a lot of money. So that's number 2. And the next one is classifying. Do you classify art? So can you place artwork with where it goes in a historical context, right? Are you like, this is modern art, this is Renaissance or pop art? So you're starting to think about a little bit about art history and movements, and we start categorizing different types of art. So we're kind of moving on from judging whether it's good or bad, and then start trying to place it in its different compartments. For good or bad. Number 4. So the 4th level is interpretive. So if you are an interpretive viewer of art, you get symbols from it or meaning. You look at the art and you think deeply about it. You might have an emotional connection to it. It makes you have big feelings. You also might change the way you feel about an artwork on different days or even throughout different parts of your life. I've heard this before from people that own artwork in their house, and they like look at it a lot, and they'll say like, oh man, I just love that piece because it makes me feel different ways based on how they're feeling. So pretty cool. So that is interpretive, the 4th level. And number 5, the 5th level is recreative. So recreative artwork is pretty much the you've looked at art forever. You spend a lot of your time trying to interpret and figure out what this artwork means, what different artists were trying to convey, and then connecting it to more of a global view, a global symbology. So pretty interesting, because at this level, like we're talking like probably art teachers, but I don't even know if I'm there yet. Maybe when I'm older and I've looked at even more art. But you can simultaneously see how you feel about a piece of artwork and where it connects in the global meaning of the artwork, which is pretty cool, because I do also think that art is a universal language, and it really is important as a species of humans for us to make art and experience art, and that it actually moves us forward as cultures, as like the culture of humans. So I think being able to see that in artwork is the last stage. So I hope you enjoyed this fun lesson. I am also going to make a video about how do we increase these levels, about VTS. Cool. All right.